Hello everyone, this is Nina with Waffle Flower. Today I'm going to share 3 cards made from some simple watercolored backgrounds and our Sandy Toes stamp set and the matching dies. I recommend using a bigger brush for this technique, such as this number 12 brush. I'm using Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolors again, mostly this yellow and this pastel green color. I have to apologize. I was standing and holding the paper in my hand, and I got too close to the camera that some of my movements have gone out of the camera range. The technique is pretty simple. Load your brush with tons of color and go straight to dry paper. Not like a regular wet on wet wash. You do not need to pre-wet your paper. This way you can create some very cool textures that work great on a beach scene. The white can be sea foam for the water and the highlight of the sand, like where the sun hits the ground, giving it a touch of summer. I'm creating 3 layouts here. The first one was horizontal, the second one was about 1/3 from the left, and the third one is about 60-40 diagonally. I'm doing one color at a time on all 3 cards so that the first color can be dry when I put on the second color. I'll show you on this corner here. If my first color was not dry, there's a good chance it's going to travel into my second color, which is not what we want. We want rough but clean edges for this. If you have shaky hands like me, a safe way to do this is to start from the edge of your paper and move towards the connection, leaving a bigger gap between the 2 colors. Our eyes will trick us into believing the gap is the edge of the water, especially with the cool texture created by a drier brush. I ended up mixing the darker blues with this pastel blue color for the sky. While the sky is still wet, I used a piece of baby wipe and dabbed on there to create some clouds. My paper size is 5x7. I did this because I do not want any white edges on my A2 sized card. Using an A2 panel die and skide, I dabbed again to make sure that there will be enough clouds on my final card. Using VersaFine black ink and a number 8 brush, I'm going to stamp and color the people images from Sandy Toes stamp set. I'm keeping it to a primary color scheme for bright and summery look. I love watercolor with bigger brushes for summer cards, because wherever your brush couldn't reach is where the sun hits. So easy and fun. For their cheeks, I dabbed on some red and removed the excess color right away with the corner of my baby wipe. I will leave the rest of my people images uncolored because first, coloring people is hard, and then I kinda like this overexposed look. It means the sun is very bright. If you want more intense colors, you can always go over when the first layer is dry. Using the same yellow color, tap 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 to create splatters on the card. I should have colored the other side with some scrap paper, but I was too lazy and ended up with some smudges in the bottom. Go over directly with your brush to make some of the splatters bigger and add more interest to your card. Now that my people images are dry and cut out with the matching dies, we can play with some composition. See this super excited kid with his shirt in his hand? He's running so fast that his flip-flop is flying out. And this kid with a surfing board was watching it with his mouth open. Just too cute. I love all the movements you can get from these images. I'm going to stamp some sand on this card. Look how I just inked the bottom of this kid's foot where half of it is in the sand. That's all you need. I made sure all the images will cover my careless pen drops so it will look perfect on my finished card. Trim off the excess, stamp some more sand and the sentiment. We're done with this panel. I will stamp directly on the second panel. Position the stamps and stamp. I cut all my panels down to A2 size, but if you are making 5x7 cards, I have another fun layout for you. Just put the girl in between the words. I like them both. A bigger card will also look good on my third panel, but I cut it down because I didn't like the edges of my watercolored background, so always start with a bigger piece and leave room for mistakes. That's it for my 3 simple watercolored cards. Thank you for joining me today. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for more creative ideas. I'll see you again soon.